You're so not my boy, dude. You're so not my boy. Come on, baby, we're going. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about the differences between a 2006 Crown Victoria and a 2002 Crown Victoria. Now, a lot of OG Crown Vic enthusiasts might know that there's a bunch of differences here, but if you're just trying to buy yourself a Crown Victoria, and if you want to see for yourself firsthand what the differences are between a 2002 model and a 2006 model, well, we're going to put all of that to rest in today's video. Here we go. Okay guys, and right off the bat, we're going to start with one of the most noticeable differences between an 06 and a 2002 Crown Victoria, and that's going to be found directly under the hood. That's because as of 2005 and up, every Crown Victoria came equipped with a drive-by-wire throttle hit. As you guys can see right here, this entire system was integrated in 2005, and by far it's one of the most hated things, man. A lot of Crown Vic owners really hate having this thing because it really limits the amount of modifications and the amount of things you can do. If you guys saw on my last video, I actually had to get rid of my K&N cold air intake. I had to go back to stock because this entire drive-by-wire system was going haywire. It was going insane. It does not like anything other than stock. But now moving on over to the 2002 model, as you guys can see, it is a drive-by cable. There you go. Now if you're debating whether a drive-by wire or cable, if which one is better, which one's worse, by far I would stick with this. That's why almost every Mustang all the way up until the late 2000s was drive-by cable. If you happen to have a 98 to 2004 Crown Vic with one of these, you can actually directly bolt on a lot of Mustang GT parts. All you got to do is just flip them the other way. They bolt directly onto that. The same can't be said for 05 and up models. So if you were to ask me, the advantage goes to the 2002 Crown Victoria. Not only is it more reliable with this system, those ETCs tend to fail a lot, but it's a lot better to modify. Now, one thing the 2002 model does not have compared to the 2006 model is, as you guys can see, there is something missing from this dash cluster right here, and that is the RPMs. 2002 Crown Victorias did not have an RPM display on the dash cluster. And now we're inside the 2006 Crown Vic, and you can see the entire dash cluster has changed. But as you guys can see, they did include an RPM display right here. As you guys can see, that's another difference between the 02 and 06 model. Now, sitting in our 2006 Crown Vic, another thing you're going to notice is the steering wheel is actually completely different compared to the 2002 Crown Victoria. This is what a 2006 steering wheel looks like, and this is what a 2002 steering wheel looks like. Honestly, I kind of like the 02 steering wheel better as well. If you notice, there's a theme going on here. I prefer everything that the older Crown Vics came with compared to the newer ones. The steering wheel is a little bit smaller. It feels like it's a little bit less bulky. I just like the design overall. Not only that, this actually came stock. Just so you guys can see, this is a P71 model, but it actually came stock with freaking cruise control. How badass is that? Something that a lot of newer Crown Vics do not come with. They do come with that option, but you got to kind of rig it up, unless it came like that from your department already rigged up. But 02 Crown Victoria came with this nice, comfortable cruise control. Look at that, right on the steering wheel, man. Now, a difference that you can't actually see, but it's definitely there, is that the 2002 Crown Victoria came with 235 horsepower. Now, a lot of it is based on the actual intake design. As you guys can see, there's a huge difference when it comes to the intake, and a couple of little differences that ended up giving this one 2006 250 horsepower stock compared to 235 in the 2002 models. Now, these are some minor differences, but in the 2002 model, as you guys can see, the panel dim button is this little button that you kind of click. I kind of like the feel of this better. You kind of hold it up or down to dim your instrument panel, as you guys can see. Now let me show you what a 2006 one looks like. And as you guys can see, they kind of moved around this little portion right here. They put the instrument panel dimmer down here. It's this little wheel that you roll, and you can snap it to activate your top dome light. but it just kind of gets stuck as time goes on. You got to kind of like do this. It's not as smooth as the little clicker one where you can just hold it up or down. Now another little small difference in this 2006 Crown Victoria, you can see this little door handle right here where you can grab to open or close your door. As you can see, there's nothing there. You really can't stick anything there. It's a solid piece. It's great for putting a phone there or putting other little things that you might need access to. But on the 2002 model, it's actually, bam. See, they had like a follow through for some reason. It's freaking awesome when you're trying to close the door on this car. You get a full grip. Rather than having to use your fingertips to try to close your door, you get this full grip right here. You can see the 02 models, they had this going in between the doors. Now you can still kind of put a cell phone or something like that, but it tends to slide out sometimes. But either way, another little small difference between the two models right there. Just so you guys can see a little side-by-side comparison, you can also see the reflector on the door has changed locations. 2002, 2006 is towards the bottom, the 02 is towards the top. Now another awesome feature that the 02 model came with that this 2006 model does not have, and it has to do with the mirrors. They're both identical except for one little feature. On each side, this car has heated mirrors. How convenient is that? Especially if you live in a cold climate, you live more up north, you got heated mirrors both ways on your Crown Vic. This one, all you got is the objects might be closer than they appear. No heated mirrors. Heated mirrors. Again, the edge goes to the 2002. Now another little feature that's small but definitely noticeable. There's definitely a difference between the two, and that is the fuel door. You see, the 2002 Crown Vic came out during an older time where actually things like this still happen, but let me show you the difference. Here you got a regular fuel door. It has this little notch on it. You lift it up and there is access to your fuel cap. Now let's go to the 2002 Crown, and you'll notice the tab is missing. It's just plain all around. You really can't open it up. That's because this is a locked fuel door. This 02 Crown Victoria came with a fuel door opening button. You hit the little button right here and your fuel door is now open. Damn, another edge for the 2002 Crown Vic. Okay, now for this next one, I really can't show you guys because I ended up removing the horns from this Crown Victoria, but I can assure you they are different, and that is the sound that the horn makes in the 2002 models compared to the 06 models. See, the 06 models, it's kind of like their balls dropped a little bit. They got a little bit deeper as the years got by. But these 2002 models, they sound like some freaking Ferrari horn or like a little Ford Pinto horn or something. Watch. Let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. That is the wimpiest horn I've ever heard on a Crown Victoria, ever. Now making our way to the rear end of these cars, to the booty portion, my favorite part of the Crown Victoria. You're going to notice, bam, antenna hole. That's where the old antenna used to be on the 2002 model. They used to really kind of stick out like crazy. It really gave the car an old-fashioned look. That's one thing I really don't dig from the older model Crown Vics. As you guys can see, we make our way over here. It's a little bit smoother. Just kind of everything flows in. That's because the antenna is actually integrated into the car. You don't have to worry about no big old antenna sticking out. Now, don't get me wrong, I love antennas, but in this case, I just wasn't. And last but not least, the transmission on both these cars are completely different. They have their pros, they have their cons, and I'll try to cover just a little bit of that because I don't want to make this video too long. 2002 Crown Victoria came with a 4R7W transmission. 2006 Crown Victoria 4R75E. For those of you guys who might know, that's the same transmission that came in the Mercury Marauder, in the 2004 Mercury Marauder. That's because in 2003 it had the 4R70. Obviously the one in the Marauder ends with a W, the one in the Vic ends with an E. Exact same transmission, there's just a couple of electrical differences. 4R75E, more durable, more power, can handle a lot more power, but there's a lot of electronics and sensors that they'll love to take a dump on you every single time. 4R70W, a lot more durable transmission, really old school, really smooth in the gears, but can't handle that much power. and you really can't be beating on it as much. That's why they usually tend to fail. If you drive this nice and slow, daily driver car, 4R70W transmission, it'll take care of you. If you want to beat on things, if you want to do burnouts, if you want to do donuts in middle of big parking lots, 4R75E, that's gonna take care of you. Just know that they both have one thing in common, and that is that they will both fail on you. Crown Victorias have horrible transmissions. So next time your transmission fails, instead of replacing it, rebuilding it, man, just throw in a 5-speed swap. That's for an entirely different video. You better believe it's coming up. But let me show you one more thing, one more difference between the transmissions. Here we go. I want you guys to notice the gear selectors right here. Look how smooth the 4R70W is. Look at this, like cake, like butter. Look at this. You see that? Watch. It shifts into every gear super smooth with very little to no effort. Now once we get into the 06 Crown Victoria, you're gonna notice something. You see that? It's a lot harder to put it into gear. It goes into every gear, but you hear that click? It clicks into every gear a lot firmer, and it's a little bit harder to actually put it into gear. It's not as smooth as butter as a 4R70W transmission car. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. That is the difference between a 2002 and a 2006 Crown Victoria. If you were on the fence about buying one, I hope that changed your mind. If you want to ask me my personal opinion, which car, if I had the choice, if I had the money, which car would I get? I would go with a 2004 Crown Victoria. 2002 and 2004 are some of the best Crown Victorias ever built. It has the best of both worlds. It was just a year before it transitioned over to the 2005, which was a lot of little different new little technologies that were adding to the Crown Vic. They weren't as certain until 2006. So there you have it. You want a nice daily driver that you're not gonna abuse, get yourself a 98 to 2004 Crown Victoria. You want to beat on something, you want to start doing stuff to a car, you want to start doing stuff to your Crown Vic, well, get yourself an 05 to 2011 Crown Vic. You better believe I'll catch you guys in the next video. We got some boosts coming, boys. We got some boosts. She loves to whine. She loves to whine.